Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Shauna Weird,
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Darian Boyd.
and welcome to the She's So Weird podcast.
We have a special, lovely, beautiful guest on board today. Goes by the name of Sammie Williams. We call her Sammie. She's my lovely girlfriend. If those don't know that are listening, how are you doing?
I'm well, not as nervous anymore.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So you drank a little bit of wine, so that usually helps.
That's
It
that
does,
Pinot
definitely
Noir.
did.
Yeah. Shout out to the Pinot. Thank you for coming on and joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Sammie, we just wanted to real quick, before we start asking you some questions, we kind of got like breaking news like on our way like over here to record this. I believe it's Virgil Abloh. I always am confused on how to pronounce his last name. I just know him as Virgil. You know what I'm saying? Louis Vuitton art director, obviously very influential in the streetwear and fashion space. We found out today that he passed away at 41 years old
Way too young.
from cancer. On the way over here, I was talking to the ladies, and they were saying that they weren't too familiar with him, but after showing them some things, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that before." I just want to send condolences to not only like his family and loved ones, but like even like his loved ones outside of his family, right? Like a lot of times in a lot of these, like when these celebrities die, like in our culture, sometimes you end up, because you don't even know that person, you end up feeling just as bad for the people that like did know him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it was with like Mac. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know, but you know, like you just like it's like you know people that are more affected by this person. Shout out and rest in peace to Young Dolph. That just happened.
Yeah.
It just recently
I'm
happened.
still dealing with that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So that's another one of those things. Like I'm aware of Dolph. Like I appreciated Dolph from afar, but it wasn't like didn't know a whole lot of his music. But I know a lot of people that do and like rocked with him like heavy on like a personal level. And so you always just get really sad for people in these situations that love these artists.
Especially around the holidays. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a better time any other time, but it's like
but
around
the week
the
before Thanksgiving.
yeah, around the holidays is always pretty hard for people.
Yeah. And I didn't realize he was in town because he was about to organize like a turkey
The turkey
giveaway or
drive.
something. Yeah,
They said
yeah,
he was doing a lot of stuff that week.
yeah,
To give back that week.
yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, talk a little bit about it. I know you was a fan.
Oh Lord. Nah, I really fuck with Young Dolph. I wasn't listening to him until like my older brother. My older brother loves Young Dolph. Like
Mine
loves
too.
Young Dolph. And so like I was hurt for him. I was just
Yeah.
like shit.
Same.
I'm like, oh, he about to come in the house pissed off. Like, but nah, I listen to Young Dolph. I listen to Key Glock. And I was just getting into like his other artists that he been like, you know, trying to put out. And so yeah, it's just real fucked up and unfortunate. But man, these celebrities gotta stop moving without security. Like they gotta like you gotta have security. Like I understand like you don't want to feel untouchable and all of that or whatever, but shit is not safe, not even in your hometown. So
Yeah.
just gotta move better.
Yeah, could we talk for a brief second about like kind of just this idea? Like I know that like his lady, I know Dolph's lady, has something like going on, like has something going on, like about like can our like black men grow old or something like that.
I saw.
Yeah, can we kind of like talk about like, I mean, I'm sure we've talked about this before on this pod, but it's just the idea that like it feels like it's specifically our culture where it seems more likely that like our like artists, particularly like it'll be artists that do a lot like in a community, like they're gonna like experience like these tragic like demises. Like it almost seems like it just seems unfair. It feels like it's exclusive to like our like, you know, like our culture because of like with the skin color that constitutes it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's wild. It's wild to think about.
Yeah, it sucks. But I definitely have seen Young Dolph's wife and what she's been trying to contribute. And it sucks that that's now something that she has to deal with. So, yeah.
Yeah, leaving kids behind. I'm not 100% sure about Virgil's like family like makeup. I don't know if he had kids.
He got kids.
He's got kids.
I don't know how many, but he has a wife and kids.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's tough. I just want to like for anybody that's listening that might may not know anything about him, like him and Don C were like Ye's like right hand men, you know what I'm saying? And like for them to like they both like built like their own legacies, like with people like even when I was talking to y'all, they was like, oh, like I didn't know he was close to Kanye.
Yeah, I didn't know he had been around as long as he's I just started to hear his name, honestly speaking.
Yeah. So that just go to show you how much like he like built his own like legacy like within the space he was trying to achieve things in, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's just like he was from Rockford, you know what I'm saying? Like he's from the Illinois area. It's just sad. Like I feel sad for a lot of people. I feel sad for Ye because I'm sure he's like, especially after the things he's been saying over the past few weeks, I'm sure he's kind of going through it. Like even 41 is a very, 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 very young age. So rest in peace to that man, and
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to Dolph too, and condolences to those young people. Let's get to a little less depressing things. Life now. Sammie, tell us about what you do for a living.
Oh, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse since October 2019. So yeah, it's been a few years in the game. I still feel a bit new. I started off in the hospital, so it was like right before COVID hit. So my whole like introduction to nursing was COVID.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like, I'm like, what is this? This is not. I mean, yeah, it was definitely weird. I got a little bit of what it was like before COVID hit, you know, like with no visitors, like the hospital was a bit quiet. So a lot of protocol that was set in place, a lot of rules. It was just stressful. And I'm a general medicine nurse. So like your everyday things. So like your diabetes, high blood pressure, like that type of stuff. So I know I experienced burnout very quickly. I would guess I was picking up shifts like because it was like a shutdown. It was kind of like, okay, I might as well type thing, but it definitely led to a burnout.
I could believe it.
Yeah.
And you ended up making a transition from the hospital, right? Like,
so I'm working a clinic now, and I do miss aspects of the hospital. I'm not gonna lie, but I do work in a clinic, and it's a lot less stressful than a hospital, a lot slower pace, which is kind of what I need. I'm the type of person, like, I like doing things like quickly. I like, you know, getting things done in a certain like time frame, but I appreciate this time that in this transition that I made, because I definitely was recognizing like, oh, I need to move around because I just wasn't happy. So I'm like, you know, I didn't know exactly what I need to do. I really was just like, let me just try this out and see, you know, what it's like. So far, so good. I am missing the hospital. I am like still kind of figuring out like, what do I want to do? So I'm just trying to appreciate the time I'm in
now. Obviously we talk all the time. So like these would be questions. These are questions. Stop laughing at me. These are obviously be questions, you know, they like we've talked about things before, but I would like for you to share with people kind of just that feeling of like, I wouldn't say it's like necessarily survivor's remorse, but just that like you get to, you know, before I started like dating Sammie, I had no idea like like how these nursing programs, like how strenuous they were.
It'd be like, real cutthroat for no reason.
Yeah, like she could like they could only like fail a class like twice and then they just out the program.
For no reason. It's like, do y'all want nurses or not?
Yeah. So like I was very like naive, you know, before like actually like beginning to understand. And so obviously you just went through this very strenuous program. And now that you are within the professional space, like what are some of the things that like you deal with in terms of like, because one of the things that you get awarded in your career field is autonomy, like you're able to like pivot. Like if you're not really rocking with the place, you could move on elsewhere because everybody need nurses. You know what I'm saying? Well, what is like some of the things you deal with in terms of like if you don't feel like this place is where you want to be? Like, do you feel like guilty sometimes? Like, what are some of those feelings?
I think the number one feeling I do feel is guilt, just because now it's like, whether even coming from a hospital, now I'm at a clinic, but I'm like the only nurse at this clinic. So it's like, I get the providers telling me like, oh, we're so grateful that you're here. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out like my next move. So I'm like, damn, y'all.
Magic Johnson,
yeah,
mean.
Like, y'all finna be a little short. But so it's like, I feel guilty because we are short staffed at so many places. But it's like, I have to constantly remind myself, like, one, y'all don't pay my bills. I am not happy. So it's like, I want to, do what's best for me at the end of the day. But it definitely is guilt that comes with the autonomy. Like, knowing that I can just move around is like the comforting part, but it's like, dang, like, I know y'all finna be struggling. And it's not even the providers or the clinic like itself as a corporation, it's the patients at the end of the day. So it's like, it could be very stressful just knowing like, okay, I gotta call this, because I'm a triage nurse. So I'm more so like phone calls. So I do see patients where like, it's more so like vaccinations, like quick things like that. But it's mostly like, oh, this is what's been going on. You need to go to the hospital, like that type of thing. Like, you need to go to the ER. So it's more like guilt because it's like, okay, I know the patients need someone, and I'm not even sure how it was before I got there. But it's like, if I'm feeling it now, I can only imagine how it impacted the patients before I got to where I am now.
For sharing. Quick holiday recap. How was everybody's holidays?
It was something. It was odd. And I don't know what it was exactly, because it's like I was at home for most of the day, helped my mom cook. Like, that part was cool, but like, I received some disturbing news. Like, one of my elementary school friends died in a car crash. So it was like, sorry. Yeah, thank you. It was just finding out about social media, and it was actually one of my coworkers. So we like grew up together, and we started working I came to the hospital where she was working at. So it was like a reconnected thing. So to hear that news on Thanksgiving, it was like, it was weird. Yeah. It was towards the end of the day, but it was like the whole day had some sort of heavy feeling to it.
Yeah. My Thanksgiving was cool. It was pretty regular. I had that first plate at the crib, then I went to sleep. And I know I shouldn't have went to sleep after that first plate, but it's Thanksgiving, so I was gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and
don't
I put
let people
on a new
shame
fit.
you for holiday naps.
Hey,
those be the best
holiday naps are
exactly.
fire.
I slept so comfortably,
especially for you folks that cook. I don't know that life. You know what I'm saying? But especially for
I slept the whole day.
I
ain't
do preparations.
I definitely woke up like 8:00 in the morning. Like, all right, I can't go back to sleep. Let me just cook.
Nah, but I changed. I did outfit change. Then I went to my uncle's house.
Oh, you had an outfit change?
Yup, I had an outfit change, ready and prepared for this second plate. Okay, because that second plate I had to prepare.
New plate, new me.
Who this? But yeah, my uncle he cooked a lot of stuff. The food was not ready until 8:30. I guess 9:00. So I was close. But yeah,
good thing you had that
and
first plate.
Exactly.
Oh,
yes. I knew it wasn't gonna be ready until like 9. So I was prepared for that. That's why I had that first plate. How was your Thanksgiving, Darian?
It was good, man. It was good. I didn't eat until like 4 or 5 o'clock, but that
not
was
too
normal.
bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to like usually on Thanksgivings, like my immediate family will eat something and then we'll go or whatever. But this year was a little different. We went to an aunt's house. So it was cool. I'm very grateful for a lot of things, family, friends, niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was overall really good. I found myself trying to make sure that I put in perspective what to be grateful about, because I know a lot of like friends that either have strained relationships with parents, or parents aren't here, you know what I'm saying, things like that. And so I definitely try to keep all that in mind, especially like those people who are in my company, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I just came away very grateful. My mom took a spill. She failed, but she's doing better now. But like I for the most part, I could really say it was a nice one. It was funny though. At where I was at, my auntie was on some like she didn't want people to drink type stuff. So I was like, well, the time here will be you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what time I'll be leaving here, but it was still cool. It's like you ain't gotta be drinking.
I mean, well, you can't do that at my crib. You can't drink in my crib.
Never do that.
But at my uncle's house, it goes down.
I feel like
it goes down.
Hey, look, I feel like we've
you want some tequila?
I feel like we've bypassed this rule before. I definitely feel like I've been at your crib drinking before. Anyway, let's say like it was cool.
Not over there.
Yeah, we got back home. We drank. You know what I'm saying? And, it was cool. It was definitely cool. I am grateful to be here with you guys. I want to talk about a lot of these like NFL, like these incidents that's been happening over the course of the past couple months. Obviously, anybody that like is like an American has has some sort of idea of like some of the like mental health, like potential mental health issues that can come with playing like contact football. Is obviously a sport where you like smashing your head into
very unsafe sport.
Right.
Yeah. The past few months has been like some very like high profile, not necessarily the players being high profile, but the incident's been kind of been high profile in terms of what's been happening. We have like the Henry Ruggs incident.
That was so crazy.
Where the young man had a DUI. He was like going like 150 miles per hour.
Oh yeah,
something like that.
It was something ridiculous.
Yeah, ended up killing someone. And he was like riding with like a gun.
And that made it 10 times as worse. And they said he was like 2 times the limit.
Yeah, nah, he was turned. So, that happened. We got the more recent Vikings incident with the Vikings player. He was holed up in his house and was saying that somebody was trying to kill him. And apparently, like I think like the Vikings have been trying to like see to it that he's getting some type of help.
But I heard that. Well, I saw that wasn't the first incident. After you told me.
So I didn't know
because I didn't know anything about it till you mentioned it, and then I looked it up and I saw that wasn't the first like mental health incident.
Oh yeah, so as I'm looking at this article, it says, I didn't know he was a 3-time Pro Bowler. I had never even heard of this guy until it happened.
Me neither.
Apparently, like he's a really good player, and they say he missed 5 games in 2018 to deal with his mental health.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was saying stuff like people trying to kill me, and then you've got the NFL player. I don't even want to say his man's name because like I don't even want to get him.
That was I don't know if you saw the video. I watched it. I watched it because it was just really like, how could you even do that to somebody, and especially in front of your child? Like,
yeah, for those.
And then they couldn't find him. Like they couldn't find him for a while. I had not. Yeah, she put out a video like, if anybody know about his whereabouts, please inform the police because they couldn't find him. I didn't know that. That shit was terrible.
Saw the video and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, for those who don't know what we're talking about, whatever y'all, I can say his name. His name is Zach Stacy, and he there was a video that got put on TMZ of like him like flipping his woman, like literally like grabbing her and like throwing her across the room with like the baby somewhere like in the room. Like it was incredibly disturbing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I know y'all answers, but like at what age like would y'all allow y'all like son to play contact football?
Yeah,
not when you want them to, but when you would allow them to. Because I'm sure you don't want them to play. I'm sure y'all kind of don't want them to play at all.
I'm having a daughter, so
I'm having a daughter.
Sorry.
I would prefer it to be closer to when they're like a teenager, to be honest. Like, I don't want my little baby running around just getting hit. Like, I wouldn't be okay with that.
That's reasonable though.
Yeah.
But I'm not fucking with the football. You can't play basketball.
I would try to like persuade them to be like, "You sure you want to do that? Like, let's
do art.
Yeah, let's try something else.
Let's do art. Let's just come on. We can just draw some shit."
It's always been like, do y'all like? And whenever I watch the football game, like the tackling, and I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah, and I just went to like my first football game ever, like a couple months ago, and I was just like, okay, like it's fun, drink beer and shit and all that, but like
just watch, like realistically, you just thinking like, okay, all the fun and games, like, are y'all okay?
Yeah, basically, like.
Yeah, speaking as the resident football fan on the current panel, you know what I'm saying? I'm in agreement, with Sammie. I've felt like this for the past like several years that I wouldn't want them playing any contact football until they're at least like a teenager. Like, I just feel like it's too young to your brain is already in a lot of development. Like, obviously, like when you're a teenager, like it doesn't stop until like you like what 20, 21.
It's like for men, it's like 21.
Yeah. I like how you threw that in there for men. I like how you slid that on the top, the little chocolate syrup on the ice cream. Yeah. No, so it's like I feel like as a small child, I just don't feel like that's what you should be putting your brain through so early. And thankfully, we're in an era where like concussion protocol is relevant. But like if you go back like 20 years ago, like they were not checking for concussions in youth sports. Like that wasn't a thing. Like they like get that kid back up and like they'll keep going with the get going and probably like the birds on the Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and still be playing, so it's like I'm not a fan of that. I didn't play contact football in high school. I played it when I was in 7th grade. And I started in the summer, and I just remember when I started school that year, I just remember like I went to a couple practices the first week of school, and I was like, how in the hell I'm gonna do anything after school when I'm like have to take Epsom salt like baths? Like, and I'm like, it's not that serious. I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, obviously I was a small kid. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. But yeah, like I believe like you could just play flag football up to that point. And and then if you get a high school and you decide that you want to do that, son or girl, they might get to the point where they, because in some high schools they at least let the girls be kickers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you decide at that point, then that's your call. But I would prefer not to. Playing any contact sports, kids are they're not like concussion proof. You know what I'm saying? Like people get concussions in soccer and basketball. You know what I'm saying? Even in baseball. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like football, the chances are at a much more likely rate.
Yeah.
And just like watching, I think I was starting to show you this, babe. Like it was a 30-for-30 called Sayal. I was about this linebacker. He was a Hall of Fame linebacker in the NFL, and he ended up due to concussion damage, he ended up committing suicide.
Damn.
After like a lot of erratic behavior, like drunk driving.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, like just a lot. He was going through a lot, and then when he committed suicide, he purposely shot himself in the heart so that they could use his brain.
Wow. I feel like I remember hearing something like that.
Yeah, it's called Say Out, man. It's an incredible documentary. It's sad as hell, but it's an incredible documentary.
I don't feel like crying, Darian.
I mean, listen, I was putting it off for a while because I'm just like, okay, like should I be high watching this? Should I not be high? Like I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I don't know if it's gonna be a better blow. You know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of controversy when he was getting inducted in the Hall of Fame because obviously he wasn't there to like do his like speech and do his acceptance. And the daughter, like I think his daughter was like at the time like her late teens or something like that. And they were very like cautious about when she went out there to speak. Like I think they were trying to like cut her short because she was gonna speak on, like this is a dangerous culture and there isn't enough mental health care for these players after they done playing football. Really in professional sports. I think maybe the NBA might do the best jobs, but it's still like, like once they play in these leagues, and especially like NFL, they have these shorter career spans. because obviously you it's a violent sport. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to last in it. So it's just a lot of that goes into that, and I'm just really sad for those like players' families and stuff.
Yeah.
But this isn't anything new. Like I know y'all saw like years ago when Ray Rice like beat his lady in the elevator and like it's just like it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So I just think that the NFL has to do a better job. I can't spell that out. I'm not on the like player. I'm not a players union rep. I'm not a politician. I'm not any of these things. So I can't spell out like what needs to actually be done. But I know for sure in terms of like when they retire, I do think they should like assign counseling for at least like the first couple of years like post retirement. Because it's just hard. It's a hard adjustment.
It should be assigned like once they actually get drafted or something like that.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's something that should be following them.
I agree. And sports counseling, up until this point, like it was something that was like it was assigned to individuals more so they felt like they had a problem and not necessarily like a requirement. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk on here all the time, like, hey, my nigga, you don't have to be going through the depths of hell, or at least like in your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like to have to have somebody professionally to talk to, and that should be the same attitude in professional sports, particularly a sport where
they need to assign counselors and mental health for all of these, for all aspects of like entertainment.
I mean, they got the money.
It's a lot that comes with all of this shit.
And that goes into our next topic. Channa, what a beautiful transition.
Oh, thank you.
The baby and I don't want to. I don't want to make it. I don't want to make it about them because I don't want to make it like. I don't want to go into like gossip mode and just like it just be about them. Like I wanted to use them as like a platform to like jump off of, because a lot of that shit, I feel like the need for attention, like it can be borderline like a disease. I'm pretty sure there's like a not necessarily a disorder, but like like maybe like a disorder for like the like what are they called, like megalomaniacs or like egomaniacs or something, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think more so ego.
Yeah, like it's a little bit past narcissism, and we're like it's like whatever, like obviously Kanye is like he's been diagnosed bipolar, but like it's a lot of like egomania sprinkled on top of that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because
I never understood like with the baby and was it Danny Lee? That's how you say her name.
First of all, can we establish what does Danny Lee do?
She's a singer.
Okay.
Talk about what she do.
I'm not trying to dismiss her.
She's a singer.
I sincerely like have no idea.
Like, you never heard the song with Chris Brown? Yeah, and she known for the song with Chris Brown. He like remixed it. Yes, Easy. That's the name of it.
Thank you, our production team.
Yes, that song was popping though. And
okay.
The song with
if I heard
it, I really liked the
know.
song with the baby though.
It was just one of them songs where you would hear it all the time. You would like catch on to it. But I never understood. I didn't understand from their whole situation like his need to get on social media.
Yeah,
like I just felt like
that was so.
It was just
that's fucked up.
It's so many things. It's tacky. It's just like we don't need to know that.
Like I woke up in the middle of the night, like, oh shit. I'm like,
I'm
what
at
the
work
fuck?
looking at it like, what is going on? And I just hate to see like one is just like, okay, we don't know these people at the end of the day. We don't know these people. We don't know what y'all going through. We need to know less about what people
exactly
for real. But in the terms of like one being like domestic violence, like okay, like I think she did hit him. Like no, that's not okay. And it's just sad to see what a lot of like baby mama, baby daddy drama be like going through, because it's like y'all number one focus. Not to say that it's not, but it's like it should be this child, whether y'all together or not.
Facts.
Like,
and that was the baby first introduction. Like we never seen pictures of this baby before,
right.
And
it's circumventing around this one situation where it's like you kicking her out or whatever. I don't know.
She gonna have to see that one day.
Yeah,
and that's fucked up.
And she gonna have he gonna have to face it.
It's a
like,
girl.
Yeah,
it's a girl.
So now listen. So here's my like. So we're all here in agreement. Like we want to see less. We don't want you to bring this on social media, right? But here's my theory for like why that happens, right? So like as a celebrity, you are constantly there are constantly rumors and things and thoughts about you that are like publicized by other people that like you'll never be able to like dispute, right?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we could be saying something about like the baby that like, you know, and like he will never hear us. Like he might not ever hear this podcast, you know what I'm saying? And
That's
so
true.
the difference between like a now versus like a 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago is that celebrities have the opportunity to provide their own platform to tell you what they want you to know.
Yeah.
Or tell you what the truth is, right?
real.
So it's like in these situations, it's like Rob like felt like they gotta go online because this is their life. This is their life existence. Nigga, only time I've been on live is like to do our podcast. Like, I ain't never been on Instagram live. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. That's what they do without like drama. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do without controversy. So I think for a lot of these celebrities, in their mind, they like, well, I gotta clear my name.
I ain't think about that.
So let me hop on live because this is how I interact with my fans, quote unquote, directly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is how I get to speak in real time. Like before, motherfuckers had to wait to get on the radio. Like motherfuckers had to wait to go to Angie Martinez and and say some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas, look, motherfucker, takeover might have happened like in July, and Nas couldn't get on the radio until like August. You know what I'm saying?
I get that,
with the baby and Danny Lay, it was like for it to be actively going on,
and then he kept
going live.
Yes, he kept getting on live.
Like,
I woke up for work and I'm watching this shit at 8:30 in the fucking morning. Boy, why are you on live?
Handle the situation first, and then you can, like let.
Then he said that was my side bitch.
Exactly.
She say side bitch. They put the camera on.
Let me speak. Now let me speak as a real nigga, bro. Like y'all said before, this young lady, this baby is gonna have to see at some point you're calling a mom a side bitch.
Mm-hmm.
You like it, regardless of what the case is. How do you have it in your heart to kick like your child and like her mother out of your house? Like, but even like that can be layered. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe like he just at that point he was like, okay, like maybe she going crazy and I can't do anything.
But she's probably experiencing postpartum. That's the other part.
Well, yeah, but
that
I'm just trying to see the sides, right?
Nah,
so maybe like like
you.
she's wild and like he doesn't know how to handle it because again he is somebody like he's had kids before, but like you're a celebrity. None of these things are like a walk in the park. Nobody like knows how to like, you know what I'm saying? Like the script to do these things. But just take all that to the side, right? The fact that you're online like disrespecting her in this way, like you was a side and like and just saying these things about like that dog, that's just not, there's no excuse for that because in no point are you thinking like, oh, like, don't ever tell me that somebody was a side chick. Like, you could tell me that, and we could have a conversation, and like we could say that in private. Like to be real with you, bro. Like, she was a side chick, and I just,
right, like
shit happens.
Yeah, but like
that's fucked up. And that people gonna be talking about her.
Like, because like at the end of the day, you making yourself look stupid. Because it's just like, okay, well that just mean that you don't care about life and the creation of life and like the value of that and the value of intimate connection. Because like. If this is how you treat your side chick and this is how you treat, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like that say more about you than it do about her.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
Obviously we all think that Danny Lee should just left. But you know, but that's
hopefully
neither
she
here nor
left
there.
him alone.
The loser in this is the baby. He's the loser.
It's just so many ways the situation could have went the other way.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't need to be involved at all.
We didn't have to know a damn thing. About
I ain't have to wake up at 8:30 in the morning and see that shit.
It was just too much, and I don't. My heart goes out to anybody who deals with that whole like the baby mama, baby daddy drama. Like, hearing stories, I'm just like, bro, I wouldn't know what to do.
Birth control.
Definitely. Because it's like you're essentially stuck with this person for 18 years, but it's really
forever.
Like, it's forever.
No, you locked in forever, bro. You think it's just 18 years. No.
At the end of the day, y'all a family, like, to be honest. Like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like, long story short.
Yeah. And I just try to I just try to have like perspective and empathy just for like these people in the limelight because it's like I don't like you said, like she's likely going through postpartum and like you have to like
that baby only I think 3 months.
Yeah, and it's just like like everything wild thing she's probably said before that aside, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's no fun. I don't want to I don't want to be famous. It just seems like a terrible existence. Like I don't know. Like
I want the money though.
Constantly explain
if you helping your community, you're getting shot. You know what I'm saying? If you
that's true.
If you just trying to be a nigga and I was terrible. She'll tell you. I was terrible. I was terrible between 19 and 22. I was a terrible person. I couldn't imagine after the deal with that shit. I was laughing the other day because I seen on my Facebook memories I had apologized to somebody on Facebook and I text my friend and I was just this press ass release. I wrote a status I am sorry for my actions and that is not who I am. You know what I'm saying? So imagine having to do this shit with actual influence. I'm just apologizing to my motherfucking family and friends that's on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And then the person that I did it to. You know what I'm saying? Imagine being a full blown I got #1 records on the radio and shit like that. You know? So yeah, man.
Well, aren't you grateful for growth?
Right.
No, nigga, I'm great. I'm grateful for social media being in its infancy. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going and scrubbing shit from Twitter, just in case.
You be deleting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh nah, see, I don't do none of that. So if I be famous, I'm sorry in advance. Yeah,
it's just one of those things where I'm not finna go through my.
Look,
I have over 100,000 tweets. I'm not doing that,
man.
Fuck
I'm not.
If you find some shit, you find some shit.
I'm not doing a super
Period.
detailed search. I'm just making sure that I didn't, drop any F-bombs. You know what I'm saying? But thankfully I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Thankfully I didn't. Not
I
on the
said
tweets.
fuck Rihanna in 2009.
I was talking about a different F-bomb, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just being a straight
things that's cringy.
Being a straight
the
male.
little
cringy.
The racist jokes, when you the white kids.
I hope I ain't.
You know what comes up for me? You know what comes up for me?
But if I did
calling,
that shit,
it's just
sorry.
a lot of me. It's just a lot of me.
I'm
calling
sorry. I love
BITCHs.
everybody.
There's a lot of me calling women BITCHs. But
Ooh.
yeah,
we jump at him after we done.
Yeah,
we jump at him.
Yeah, it's a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? Just this. You know what I'm saying? And it's no. I don't want. I don't.
So
want.
we on your ass after this podcast.
Yeah, well,
that's not me, y'all.
Yeah, that's not. So it's it ain't as worse as these motherfucking white quarterbacks and shit. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
NIGGER.
Right, these N-bombs.
And and it's even wilder, how these white celebrities are gonna try to take the turn later in their life now. They're if they're teenagers now in the Trump era. Cause it's just it's very obvious that that's wrong, but they still gonna be able to get it off later. It's oh, I was young.
Yeah.
It's no, nigga, the right is wrong, wrong is wrong. But yeah, so yeah, I would not want to be famous. That's the moral.
Let me apologize now. I'm sorry, y'all. It is what it is. I'm old now.
That's the moral of that story. Let's touch on cancel culture, man.
Ooh, my favorite thing.
Yeah, let's touch on cancel culture. There's probably a list of motherfuckers I done shit on this podcast since we started it.
I just remember baby.
I cuss out Ye every month. You know what I'm saying?
You do.
I'm sure we talked about the aura. You know what I'm saying? Robert Sylvester.
The Pied Piper.
Yeah, man, and even just the current person we're talking about, the baby. Do y'all? I don't want this to be cliche on some do y'all believe cancel culture is real? But what do y'all think is the impact? Who is somebody y'all feel got canceled and then came back on the other side?
Canceled and came back.
I think Kanye do it every year. Somebody said Chris
Brown
Brown
is a good one.
Definitely.
Chris Brown is
but
definitely.
he fought hard to come back. He fought really hard.
Chris Brown
That was
definitely.
If he wouldn't have cried on that BET stage, nobody wouldn't have gave a fuck. Let's be clear. I was a Chris Brown stan, not fan.
Honestly,
stan.
I had posters
stalker.
In my room. I remember ripping them down. Once I ripped them down. It was so dramatic. I was just because I was just so Like, how could you?
I was like, maybe something happened that we didn't know about. Like, maybe we just don't know. I was a little girl. I'm like, maybe we just don't know, guys. We don't know what happened in the car.
I was tearing his shit.
He was crying too. Like, what y'all mean?
I couldn't.
Nah, it was bad. It was bad.
And I appreciate that he apologized. It's like, again, we don't know these people. But it's like, I appreciate that he made a public apology. But I think what makes it hard is like his behavior afterwards.
And that's where the light skinned nigga hater is gonna come in.
It's his behavior afterwards. It's like, you can
the problem is with CB,
he apologized a lot of times though, and they were never effective.
It wasn't
until he cried on that BET stage,
man.
Like, please let me do music. That's when everybody liked him again. This
is how murky all this shit is, right? Because he got canceled before cancel culture was canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But somehow he's still able to exist in this climate. It just go to show you that, like, if you didn't do it, like if you did it before the cancel culture climate, you gonna survive. Even though that nigga is like a fucking stalker and like he got all this shit, like motherfuckers be putting these like orders on him and all that shit.
He
but
be doing a lot.
If he would have put his hands on Rihanna in 2018,
that nigga would have been.
That nigga would have been cooked
forever.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely
Rihanna.
But that's why the R. Kelly shit is so wild, because that's literally what it is. Like, you gotta think about it, G. The nigga literally pissed on a child.
Recorded it.
And we didn't cancel this man until he's like the most recent scandal, because it's the power in numbers, right? It's the power in like social media and how it has numbers.
Yeah.
I think there is probably a lot of voices that probably were speaking out against R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? And like being on some like, y'all, like, we can't really rock with this nigga. But they were silenced. And it's like with social media, you can't really silence motherfuckers. Yeah, that's on the side of right. Like this, which cracks me up with like a lot of these motherfuckers that like are be on the side of wrong, and they be like, they try to silence us, like the Yays and all these motherfuckers, like they try to silence me and Chappelle and da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's even
like
different, especially on the R. Kelly tip. Like growing up in Chicago and like hearing people like older, like my friend's sister went to Kenwood, so she was telling us like, oh yeah, he really used to like come up there, and it's just like, what the fuck?
No, like it's not like, this is not like urban legend. Like I be trying to like tell like people that's not from the city.
Yeah,
like,
it's like you literally have to tell people like, no, bro, like he really was doing shit like this. Like,
and that's not the first time I've heard that. Like, that's not the first time I've heard that. I just feel like a lot of the older generation didn't give a fuck or protected that man, and my parents was a part of that problem.
And it's definitely
because my
protection.
Mother loved R. Kelly, like loved R. Kelly.
The aura.
It's definitely protection, but no, like what he did, and I feel like a lot of people still want to defend him. Like,
oh yeah,
all them women. It don't matter if it wasn't all them women. Like there were some truthful cases, and that needs to be addressed.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, yeah, whatever. It's a lot of women. Still, it's
still happening.
Like, what the fuck? Like, at least half of them women telling the truth.
So,
not all.
So let's pivot real quick, because I've been wanting to like talk about this on the pod. I've been wondering, like, and I got two people I want to just ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, so where are you guys at, like, in terms of like the listening, right? Because like you just said, like your mom loved him, so like I'm sure that like the music for you was almost like, it's almost like inescapable in a way, you know. First of all, if you live in Chicago, R. Kelly's music is inescapable. It's fucking inescapable. Like it's really wild. Like you go be somewhere, you gonna hear R. Kelly. But like, how was it? Because like, I'll speak first. I'll set the precedent, right? So like for me, it has gotten to a point where like it's about 3 to 4 that's probably low. I'm probably lying. It's under 10 songs of his solo work that I've decided that like I'm not gonna try to stop. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just like, it is what it is. Like I love this song, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'd say only like 1 to 2 of them are sexual. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the bar for me at first. I was just like, I can't listen to this nigga talk about sex no more.
Yeah.
It's just like, it didn't got to that point where I was like, you know.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people be on some like, well, if he produced it and if he featured on it, I ain't got that kind of willpower, y'all. I'm sorry. And I don't think his paperwork that good anyway for him to benefit off these songs. So like, I'll go keep.
That's true.
Listen, man.
He
like,
can't read anyway.
You understand? You understand how much this nigga produced from like the late '90s to like the mid 2000s, my nigga. Like
that's a lot. Yeah, I didn't even think. I'm like, damn, that's a lot.
Like the At Your Best, like Aaliyah, like the remix, nigga. Like how? Why would you want me to like stop listening to that song?
And we were just celebrating it being released on like platforms. So it's like everybody was listening to her. The albums being released.
Yeah. That honestly be a tricky situation.
Well, I want to listen to the age, but ain't nothing but a number. I don't know about that. I'm Timbaland and later. I'm Timbaland and later. I ain't doing that. I'm not listening to an album.
I'm about to say it's definitely.
I'm not listening to an album called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. I'm not going. That's why I gotta draw a line. All I see is that bald head nigga standing behind her. Like, I gotta draw a line. I'm sorry. I won't judge y'all. You know what I'm saying? I just said I won't go judge.
It's just.
So where y'all at with it? Like, how do y'all like going?
It's for me, as far as just like cancel culture in general. I'd be like, it's hard.
I just want to hear specifically R. Kelly.
No, I'm getting to it
because it's a different animal.
I'm getting to it, but it's just like cancel culture in general. It'd be hard to like cut off like what you listen to, like even your favorite songs. But as far as like R. Kelly, nah, I can't. Mm-hmm. And I grew up hearing him like in the household all the time.
You can't listen?
I cannot. No. And my mom even told me my first words was, "I believe I can fly." No bullshit. I asked her. I ain't
never go hold
I swear to God.
Hey, man. It's two
no
R. Kelly
bullshit.
songs. Listen, it's two R. Kelly songs that I'm never going to judge anyone for listening to. It's "I Believe I Can Fly" and "Step in the Name of Love." There is something so pure about "Step in the Name of Love," y'all. No. No one's going to let that go.
But I swear, I asked her so many times, "Is this true? Is this true?" She said yes. My first words is, "I believe I can fly." So, like, I don't know. I am like, I can't let... I do have a favorite, and it is sexual, but I'm not going to know.
You're not going to disclose it.
Y'all want to know?
What about...
I'll tell y'all if y'all want to know.
Go drop it.
So, I like "Feeling on Your Booty."
Oh,
but I like that beat.
Though.
I like that beat a lot, though. Yeah. Like, fuck the song, really.
Yeah,
I really just like the beat.
That's like more goofy than me. Like, that's the other part about
especially when he started like the falsetto.
Yeah, that's the other thing about Robert. It's just like, you are a genius, but like your music is ridiculous. Like, so much of his music is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just like, and this shit smacked. Like, so what about features and like him being like him producing things?
I think I make more of an intention to not play more sexual songs.
Yeah.
But like Remix to Ignition, that used to be me and my like in middle school, that was our shit. Like we really like will bust out.
But see, white people played that out for me in Indiana.
That's what
I don't know.
My roommate played it one time in Columbia. I
heard that in every single party.
Sometimes the song won't even say his name, but you know that nigga voice. Like you know his voice. Like I was listening to, especially Nivea. Like, I was listening to a Nivea song. I'm like, this fucking R. Kelly. But it didn't have his name on it. I'm
and you know R. Kelly beat, G. Like, you know R. Kelly beat.
He was over everything.
It's this one song with Tony Braxton. Like, it's the remix. I'm like, gee, I noticed this nigga. Like,
you ain't answer my question, Shada. You still listening to features?
I don't listen to anything R. Kelly.
So you just like,
as far as I know,
Cold Turkey.
I don't listen to none of that.
I had my Christmas music on shuffle like the other day, and an R. Kelly song came on, and I'm just like, damn! Like I just get angry. I really
exactly because that's what happens. If I like hear an R. Kelly song, I get pissed off. Yeah, I don't get.
It's not a happy
those old
feeling.
Feelings don't come back. I get mad.
No pun intended, but it's like no.
Yeah. Now, like, can we agree with this though? I think personally for me, his music is the easiest for me to cancel. Like out of all these like niggas, because of like the heinous act.
Yeah,
I think like the act is just above so many other things. Like I feel like so many more of my artists have fucked up politics. That's not something that could like really make me like be like nah, you know what I'm saying? But like because so much of his music is about romance and it's about sex.
Yeah.
it's like it just takes out a lot of the catalog, dog.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, ugh.
It's just like plainly he
and
is
I'm
a
like,
pedophile.
ugh, I used
Like
to
that.
listen to this.
It is
like,
what it
to,
is.
Now
to,
my people
to
still
do this.
listen
And I'm
to
just
his
like,
ass. And I
ugh,
just be like, I'm grossed out personally.
Like I'm gonna go get a drink. Like
I'm about to leave.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's
nah,
man.
fuck him.
As shout out my boy Scott, Barber Chest Scott, as he calls him, the nasty man. Like I can't do it, dog. Like he's just this is a different kind of caliber. And
it's
I just
like
don't,
no remorse. It's just like no, like
yeah, like I'm gonna put the shit
doing.
I live the rhymes I spit, my nigga. Like it's real bars, real life bars, nigga. Like
Then when he
like,
wanted
no.
sympathy, I can't read. I don't know how to do nothing. I don't have no money. What?
I just
What
want
are
to
you
know.
talking about?
I just want to know out of 10 R. Kelly supporters, like only one out of those 10 ever acknowledged that like he was abused. Like that don't even be like,
Yeah,
like,
nobody
I
ever
can
brings that up.
I can
Nobody
appreciate if like
ever
if you
brings
led
that up.
off with that, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, like he went through it too. Like these niggas don't even be mentioning that.
They just
like,
be, I love the music. I
they
can't
trying
stop
to bring
listening
the
to
black
it.
man down. Like
Like y'all,
Like,
it's really not that
what?
hard.
he had a second. That nigga's the R&B OJ. That nigga had a second chance. Like nigga,
he
we
still
saw
was
you on video
recording.
and you put it in your
Right.
brother. That's how I knew that was a foul nigga.
And
That
he
nigga put
still
his
was
brother.
recording.
That nigga trying to say it was his brother, Joe. I said he a different kind of foul nigga. I said you had a second chance, and then you did still do stupid shit. Like
He
like,
still was
no,
recording
Like,
in the
ain't nobody
act.
trying to bring that man down. That nigga brought himself down, and like
Yeah.
yes, the parents are at fault. Yes, the motherfuckers that's around him are at fault. But nigga, don't take away from the fucking predator.
He
He's the
definitely
predator.
like
Yeah.
he committed the
I
crime.
be
Like
so
it's
tired of
not
hearing that
just
shit.
his parents. Like I definitely be tired of hearing of like why they parents not da 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 da. And it's just like, bro, like that doesn't excuse him from doing anything.
I'm gonna tell y'all this,
People
Joe.
gross.
I-
That's what I'm
listen.
gonna say.
Listen,
They just gross right along with his ass.
I've been working with kids for about 7 years now. Even before when I started working in my current job, like I've been working with kids for like 7 years, right? And you encounter kids that are impressionable at all ages, like whether it be like 5 years old or fucking 18 years old, right? And a parent can do all they can. They can try to protect them and all these things, but kids have about 6 to 7 hours. I'm probably undershooting that shit. What the fuck is 8 to 255? Like 19, 11, 12.
I'm gonna say a time.
1, 2,
'cause
7.
I'm not finna-
I like how y'all. Hey, I like how y'all
I'm
just
like-
make me. I got it. I counted it. I like how they just like, whatever you say, we gonna roll with it. They got if they do extracurriculars, they got 6 to 8 hours of the day where they're not with their parents, and so no matter how much a parent, and I'm not necessarily applying that to these situations, right? Because some of these situations involve like parents like legitimately like signing over, like, oh, okay, they can go in the studio with you, and they could, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there are like specific cases, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like even if I got to go ahead from a parent like to do that, I still have a window of like judgment in my mind where I can decide whether I want to do these things or not. Even if a parent let me take these shorties home, even if a parent let them bring me into their home, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like into my home, I still have the choice to not fucking be an abuser. You
Yeah.
still have the choice. So like, stop saying that shit. It's almost like when Badu has said that goofy shit, right? It's almost the idea of like a man's impulse is just too much to control. So if you put a bitch in his lap, a woman in his lap, see, you know, that's why I have the
It's
Twitter
okay.
scrub. You know what I'm saying? Put a young lady in his lap. What else is he gonna do? He's gonna not abuse. Like what the fuck? Like
yeah, like they
People
make
find
it.
ways to
brainwashed.
make an excuse for that.
They make
shit.
it sound so like animalistic.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
like no,
That's the
like
word.
you have to hold people accountable, and people need to hold themselves accountable. Like at the end
Absolutely.
of the day, that whole it's a urge type shit. You lack self-control.
That's
You're
nasty.
sick. Like that's
like what
it,
the
that's
fuck?
all.
You're nasty as fuck. Go to
That's
hell.
it. That's all.
and not only is it like patriarchy, I think it comes from like when black people make those excuses. I think a lot of it comes from like our
Mhm.
because
Absolutely.
we've like we dealt with that like through slavery, where like slave masters, you know, like taking advantage of, you know,
We've been conditioned.
slaves.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so it's like you become conditioned, and it's like, you know, this is how abuse works, right? You become conditioned to think that like you have to figure out what you could have done better to not be a victim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh well, she shouldn't have smiled at Master so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that type of shit. And it keeps going. Like, even when it ain't slavery, it's like you see it happen with like even
it's just victim blaming, like one-on-one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So fuck Robert, get some help. I hope like when he locked up for 100 years, that nigga get like some peace and some help. Like, you know, yeah. So got you. So yeah. So you know. Yeah.
Well, so another thing that like happened over the course of our, you know, of our last podcast, the AstroWorld tragedy, and that's gonna be tough to like get through. But yeah, it's been a lot going on with the AstroWorld stuff with Travis Scott and Drake.
Just right before we jump into that, I just wanted to make note of set for production. You know what I'm saying? Mention that like even in the Black household, like we conditioned to not like say anything like that person's like the abuser, like family members or like anything like that. You know, like it's just on some like, well, let's not talk about like if they're in the house, like if they're in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there's
like,
a lot of that going on.
Like you can't like
it's swept under the rug.
I feel so much for anybody that's had to go through that. It's like that's just heartbreaking as hell. Like you have to exist in silence because
no one has your back.
Mm-hmm.
So Gemini, thank you for knowing that. That's a really good
point.
We were talking about the Travis. Ooh, yeah, this was the hot.
So y'all want some more wine because this shit is loaded.
Shout out, we gotta chill. We gotta
this
say.
Shit is loaded.
We gotta say something for the pod, man. We got to say something for the pod, G. Woo! So, Shana, go ahead. You was intro. You was introing it.
So, this shit with Travis Scott. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Travis Scott fan. I love Travis Scott.
Hold on. We gotta take a bathroom break.
A bathroom break. Yeah. Okay. Then we can do that.
Yeah.
We can figure out thoughts because this shit is real.
I'm glad I was able to take a bathroom break.
So, we gotta dissect this AstroWorld tragedy stuff, y'all, because this shit has been very crazy. This is the first time in my lifetime I've seen some shit like this go down. Even though I've heard like my family say that this is not the first time anything like this has happened. This is the first time I've heard like shit like this has happened. So I just want to know how y'all feel about all of this stuff that has unfolded with AstroWorld.
We gonna let our guests go first. Go ahead.
I just feel like it was just a situation like it didn't have to happen. Yeah. So I feel like it was just so much chaos. And I don't think it's all on Travis Scott. Like, I really don't. I think it's more so on, like, the event organizers, like, whoever produced it, Live Nation, whoever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the truth is behind, like, okay, like, did he know? Should he have stopped the, like, of course, if he had known something was going on, he should have stopped the show. Like, I feel like a lot of people been saying, like, oh, he don't have the power to do that. Why the fuck not? Like
he has the power to
he
stop
performing, he definitely be taking, you know, like performers, they be taking them little idle breaks to, you know, interact with the crowd or whatever. So if he had known, then that definitely would have been the opportunity to stop, to address it. And I do see like a lot of other artists who had concerts after him were like stopping, like y'all good, y'all okay, and people are like, well, motherfuckers been fainting when they went to Michael Jackson concerts, and it's just like, but what was the resolution from that? So I think it was just really sad seeing, you know, all of these people who did die. It's crazy. Like I watched
little kids.
Yeah, I watched a video of motherfuckers like stampeding. It's just like, bro, like it's never anything in life is ever that serious for you to be wholeheartedly knowing that you're stepping on people. Except running from actual danger, but you're running towards something. Yeah. So that was just ridiculous. Yeah, it's just like
celebrity.
It's obsessive. Like this whole obsessive culture is weird. It's weird as fuck. It's like y'all have to know that you're trampling over someone. Like, you are stepping on an actual human being. Like, I didn't understand. Like, I didn't get it. Shit's been weird.
Yeah. Nope, I want to hear your thing. Yep.
I mean,
save me for last.
Like I said before we went to break, like me and Shauna was on some like, gee, we gotta save it because we was going on about this for a good 30 minutes the other day. Like, I agree with a lot that you just said, Sammie. Like, I do not feel like Travis should be wholly responsible for these tragedies. I think that we need to look at festival culture as a whole and how we secure these venues. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that like motherfuckers was able to stampede and get through, like, and jump over the gates and stuff like that. What the fuck is Travis Scott gonna do about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're already like at capacity. Mind you, we still in a panty, so it's just like, what in the fuck? Like
50,000 people.
Like, does anybody care to like secure the the venue? You know what I'm saying?
People.
Yeah, so it's like you got that. And like you said, like people like in your life, I've been saying, like, this isn't the first thing the first time this has happened, man. This is just like a very large number. I think the closest number was back in like the late 70s. It was a rock concert in which this happened at, and like it was like about 2 or 3 people. So like 8 people. What was 8 people, right? 8 people was very like 9 people. 9 people was like a very unprecedented number, and it's also like in a social media stage era, so it's like it's amplified in the level that like where these other like festivals and things like that might have happened, we probably will never know. I want to comment on a couple things, right? So for one, it's been like videos circulating about like it was like a young lady like getting over there and telling like the camera person like, you guys gotta stop the show, and all of that.
That was
guys,
though.
But guys, the person doing the video does not have any authority to be like, oh, well, okay, I'm gonna what they like. I doubt they have the red button alarm with it. Travis, stop
they
it.
Don't have some type of. They should at least have.
They
type
should
of, like
communicate.
They should.
Yeah, or some type of walkie-talkie.
That should, but
something.
he don't got the wearing thought to do that at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Because what was she saying? She was like she was trying to get him to actually stop the camera.
No, she was trying to tell him like y'all need to stop the show.
She said
like people are dying.
Somebody
like,
just died.
Her talking to her for him. I mean, her talking to him for her was like he's part of the loose thread that is like the you know what I'm saying, like the whole performance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could talk to him, then I can get to the head. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how it works. Another thing, when these artists are performing on these stages and stuff like that, they don't really have like the vantage points that we think they're having, right?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of lights and different things.
I agree.
Now, I'm sure he saw a fat ass ambulance
right
in the middle of the crowd.
Motherfuckers hopped on top of it.
But listen,
because I definitely would have been like, y'all.
But this goes to my next point, right? So like I listened to shout out to Beehive out of Atlanta. He has a lot of dope like artists and stuff on his podcast, on his radio station. And he had Bun B on like a few weeks ago, right? Bun B also being from Houston, like Travis. Bun B said that like when like coming up, like Too Short taught him that like when you performing, if a fight is breaking out, you just keep performing. You don't focus on the fight, because if you focus on the fight, then everybody else is gonna focus on the fight. And so I just feel like Travis Scott come from a school of like rock on and rock the fuck out. Yeah. Michael Jackson wasn't stopping when them motherfuckers was fainting. Michael Jackson kept fucking going.
Well, I probably think people gonna come get them motherfuckers that's fainting and all.
Yeah,
that.
Exactly. And I know you mentioned that like we've been seeing these clips now, like artists like saying like y'all good, but artists been doing that. Like artists have been doing that, like tapping in. Like, well, at least like the shows and stuff I've been to, you know what I'm saying? I've seen, like, I remember specifically like at a concert where like I was at a Spitter concert and somebody like passed out and he like oh, like, that's my homegirl. Like, make sure you get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been seeing stuff like this, but I just feel like now, like, because like it's all like, you know, it's all social media and it's all like viral. Now people are putting a spotlight on it. Like, oh, like people are checking in. Like, these artists are checking in because of the Travis thing. It's like, no, like people had empathy before. It doesn't help that like Travis has been painted as a very like non-empathetic figure. Like, you know, like just based off his actions off the court, you know what I'm saying? Like that nigga just seems like a dickhead, you know what I'm saying? And so that doesn't help. Like it like it probably would help if it was somebody that like didn't have a history of just kind of being on some like whatever type shit, or like a motherfucker that steals beats and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Travis just seemed like a fucking like, but at the end of the day, that still don't mean it's his fault. We have to look at festival culture. We have to look at like how we're securing these venues. Cause like again, like it wasn't just like from stampeding. Like they say some people was getting drugged. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People have OD'd at concerts from their own.
It's been too much
on their own action. You know what I'm saying? That's been happening for like forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I just think it's kind of wild, like how like people have like put this on him, and I don't know how he's gonna be able to pivot because most of his image is built around like being a rock star.
And it seemed like it's mostly on him, like. Of course, it was his concert, but like a lot of people not even. I've only heard Drake name a few times.
They bogus as hell for trying to bring Drake into the shit.
Yeah, I mean,
he just
like,
showed up to perform.
Yeah,
Drake love Houston.
Drake
like he just showed up.
They just showed up.
He say out like a light.
Right, nigga, like
that's all you wanted to do was that song, and then get off the
stage. The Mogs that put the shit together.
They said Drake being sued. I'm like, damn.
They say, yo, we gonna get that nigga too.
Like shit. Okay.
No nigga left behind, but yeah, like who needs to be at fault is Live Nation, and whatever security that like like was supposed to be maintaining.
They produced the concert.
That shit ain't on my boy LaFlame.
And I'm like honestly like apprehensive because I'm like, ain't y'all being sued right now? Because
those are definitely like the people that should be at fault. Like Travis Scott, all his job is to show up, perform. For all we know, he was faded while fucking performing. We don't know that.
That's true too.
Well, it's bright lights all in his face. Like who knows? Who knows?
But not to cut you off, but a lot of why people have been on that with Travis is because, like I said, like his image is like a rock star, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
and he encourages. Right, you've been to a concert.
I've been to a concert on my birthday.
He encourages. He encourages like mosh pit and stuff like that. Yeah. But at the same time, still, I'm just like y'all can't.
The first person.
Exactly. He's not the first.
I went
he
to
probably not gonna be the last
concert, like in 2018, for I forgot what the album was called. But, like, he was encouraging people. Him and Playboi Carti, they was on tour together. They encouraging people to mosh pit, do all this kind of crazy stuff. Like, but that's what they known for. That's what they do. So it's just, like, it only sucks because this shit happened. And now, like, that's all people are going to pinpoint on Travis. Yeah. He encourages this. He tells people to be violent. He tells people to act this way and blah, blah, blah. That's what makes it suck. But, like, that's what he known for, honestly.
I saw a lot of people that are like, bro, like you finna be this age and you still telling people, but it's like it's a culture. Like
it
at
is.
The end of the day,
yeah.
It is.
Like his age has nothing to do with it. So it was kind of. I saw like it was kind of unfair. I'm just like, all right,
cause y'all ain't saying that. Y'all not saying that to white rock and roll.
Like these niggas be partying well,
and they be old
70s.
As fuck. Yeah.
Like, and y'all telling this man he not even 30, is he?
No. TMZ. He probably, he's like 30, 31 maybe.
Damn,
probably. But not TMZ bogus. They like created a whole article like taking screenshots of like his Instagram from like older posts. He like posts pictures of like people like with a broken hand or like people with a like bloody eye, and he like the captions that say "I love you" or
he is exactly 30 years old.
They didn't survive the rodeo or like.
Wait, he said that? Oh no, that's bad.
But I'm saying though, like that's why are people doing it? Like, damn, like it's fucked up.
Wait, he said they didn't survive. Like those people that died?
No.
Oh,
no.
It was
if
like
they had
people
an
that
injury.
hurt themselves.
But y'all, but again, y'all, like motherfuckers have their own choice to like to mosh. People have their own choice to like. I went to the Life of Pablo concert. And a lot of motherfuckers, usually at any other concert, they be like, the best seats would be like the seats closest to the front. Nigga, I would never get the tickets to be standing amongst all them mogs. Like, you remember how it was? Like, he was on a levitating stage. Mm-hmm. And like, it was like people standing like in these, like in this large crowd.
Somebody, I'm sorry, I gotta be right there.
But you really weren't right there. You were under the stage.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have a choice to do these things.
Yeah.
But
you
I
have a choice to
and saying like, oh, they didn't survive A, B, and C. I think that's weird.
But that's what he do though. That's like
That's that culture, man.
That shit weird.
but
That's that
the
culture.
fact-
And you right,
Yeah.
and you could feel like it's weird, but you don't. But I'm sure you didn't feel like it was cancelable. Like it was worth canceling. Like
To cancel him off of that, no, because I don't feel like he was the sole like person responsible.
yeah, it'd be different if like they
the
died.
lack of security. Like I feel like this is wholeheartedly
Yeah.
on whoever produced.
Oh,
it, like,
yeah,
Live
for
Nation.
sure.
The way that them
For
people
sure.
was like for people to even be able to have drugs to be, smuggled in or whatever.
That's festival culture.
Did you see like how it was before Travis even got there?
I don't think so. I just saw that
No.
video of like them, like literally rushing in, and then that man, the security guard on the horse, was like, "Back up, fuck that."
No,
That's what
people knocked over like the gate, like the whole gate to get in, like where you
Yeah.
get searched.
This
and
is
shit.
probably-
they knocked over everything just to get in.
This is probably going to change that forever for festivals.
And I think it should,
Yeah.
because like realistically, one would like considering COVID. Why the fuck are we being this close to people? Why?
I think they're gonna start sectioning bogs off.
And
I
that's
really do.
okay. I'm okay with that.
I'm super okay with that. I don't want to be
I
around
don't
y'all
want to be
niggas.
this close to you.
Yeah.
I've never been
Sometimes
to a
it's nice,
festival,
but-
so like it's okay.
I went to Lala. My
fine.
first concert ever
Lolla.
was Lollapalooza.
I've always
in
been
08.
apprehensive of going to Lala. One, because of the damn price, but two, it's like we really finna be this close to each other.
Yeah, my first one was 08. My sister took me to my first concert
I get irritated
ever.
when bitches be flinging their hair in my face. So I'm not. I don't.
I get irritated by intoxicated white people in general.
Yeah,
I definitely
because
don't
they
wanna
be
shoulder to
wild,
shoulder
like
with
they
you.
be wilding. They
They be
don't care
wildin'.
about shit.
Yeah.
Like they don't give a fuck.
It's
And it's wild to know that like I actively participated with the whites like for years, for 3 years straight. You know what I'm saying? probably even 4 or 5 years straight. You know, with the Cubs was in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like I from my experience then. You know what I'm saying? Like it was cool because you still get to kind of like it's different now because like nothing is really cult anymore. Nothing is really like nothing is really like I don't want to use the word exclusive, but nothing is really like how can I like code is what is the word that's coming up for me, but just like well kept secret. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like even though like it was a whole bunch of people at Lala at that time, when we went there at the beginning of the day, right? It was still enough room to move around.
Yeah,
And it only didn't get crowded like you on top of a motherfucker until Ye like was about to perform. Like Gnarls Broccoli performed like right before him, and then like people started like we got to the front or whatever, and that's what stuff like people started to crowd around like that. But it wasn't so much that like you didn't feel like you could like breathe, you know what I'm saying? But now everything is on the internet. Everybody knows about everything now, so everything is overpopulated.
yeah.
And something like that is a perfect example. Like everybody knows that it's happening. Everybody wants to do things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think this gonna change. I think it's gonna change festival culture forever because that shit was I don't even like to laugh because like R.I.P. to them people and they friends and they family.
It's sad. It's fucked up.
Really sad. Like you expecting to have a good time, especially the people who are like, why would you bring a 9-year-old? The parents are taking them kids to the concert, but they're expecting them to have a good time.
I ain't gonna lie,
Like when
babe.
he had
I
an
ain't
endorsement with like Fortnite,
I ain't
so
go-
of course kids know.
I ain't gonna lie,
They're
babe.
gonna want to.
They had some kids younger than that, and I just don't think that's smart at all.
I don't think it's the smartest thing, but I don't think it's the time to really be.
It's not.
blamed.
It's not. I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel
It's
you.
not the time to be blamed. Like I just went to Lil Baby and Lil Durk concert in New York, and it was a child
Tell
there.
me about this now.
It was-
So how young? What's the youngest you think you should bring a kid to something like that?
To something like that, motherfuckers was in there smoking.
Oh, you know they was smoking.
Like,
So how old you think? How old you
I
think?
think like 13.
How old we bringing little Chad?
13 was cool. 13 is fine,
That was
but
when
I
I
think
went
that
to my
child was
first
definitely
concert.
like 9. That's too young.
Yeah, like it was 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
It was like a 5-year-old at that
A
show.
5-year-old, no. Definitely.
I'd be too scared to bring like little babies like that in like like you know what I'm saying, like at some of those like
the block club
like the
parties.
festivals and you know what I'm saying, like the block festivals and stuff like that. Like I like
even though when it be family oriented, it's
Right.
still like this is a lot of stimulation for a child. Like this is just a lot going on. Like and then the fact of like people really be kidnapping kids, like that type of thing. It's easy to get disconnected from your kid. That like more so safety reasons.
Yeah.
But yes, but it was just really unfortunate.
Just
like
slid
people
right
were
over that one.
blaming the parents like, well, why would you take a 9-year-old to that? And it's just like they don't anticipate that. Yeah,
like how could you
your boy
think about
does
something like that happen?
Your boy does. Listen, I'm not judging them.
I
I'm
personally
just
wouldn't have done it, but I'm not gonna blame them.
No,
for whatever
I don't.
happened.
Yeah, it's not the time to victim blame, y'all.
Yeah.
Nah,
They didn't
I was
want
13
that to happen.
when I went to my first concert, and
You was how old?
13.
I don't remember.
It was a Chris Brown concert. It was the Up Close and Personal tour.
Oh, I think I was probably like I went on like I know Diggy was there. Actually, was it a Scream tour? It might have been a Scream tour. That shit was great. I feel like I was like 16. Yeah.
I was out 15. Okay, so Put On came out in 08. So I would have been 15. Yeah, I was 15.
And I don't think that's something we should take away from kids either. Like you should be like you idolize these celebrities just as much as adults.
As adults do. Facts.
It's just more like it
like you said.
really be
like you said, Travis Scott. Like he had like a performance of Sicko Mode like in Fortnite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like little kids know who Travis Scott is.
Y'all know who this man's audience is. Y'all should be catering to his audience. Like
that's
y'all,
a great point.
There should be like a much more substantial security.
I want to say too that like I think it doesn't help for him for like dealing with cancel culture because most of cancel culture on Twitter is Black Twitter, right? And it doesn't help that like there's a perception that like a lot of Black people don't listen to Travis Scott. Like it's that,
and they're fucking lying, and they're lying.
Yeah, like
they're lying.
Like,
they knew Travis before this shit happened.
He got more white fans than he do got Black fans, but like it's a lot of Black people that listen to Travis.
Like get the fuck out of here.
I don't feel like I think I've tried to listen to his albums, but it'd be like a few songs.
I can't lie.
I'm not a real.
Nah, the Rodeo album. That's when I like. Of course, I knew him before Rodeo, but I was like, "Who the fuck is this weird ass?"
It was days before Rodeo for me.
I was like, "Who is this weird ass?"
Yeah, it was days before Rodeo for me.
His sound was weird. I'm like, "This is weird." I don't listen. But then, like, once Rodeo came out,
weird. This shit is weird. This nigga's weird.
This was weirder than me. I was like, I can't listen to that. But nah, like Rodeo. I love that album, man, and like after that, that's when I became a fan. Like,
shout out to Birds sing trap, but Birds in the Trap sing Miami Night or whatever. That's
long ass title.
Yes, that shit. Yeah. So yeah, but I feel like we all kind of have an agreement. Like, I'm not saying he should be absolved of all blame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think like he has to reevaluate what his culture represents. But,
yeah. Hopefully he can pivot, like you said. Hopefully he can pivot. I just know in the world of PR, this is a nightmare.
It seems like
this is a fucking nightmare.
There needs to be more like maybe he just needs to be more involved.
Yeah,
but I think
he wouldn't even if he was more involved, this shit still would have happened. Because Travis ass don't give a fuck.
I wouldn't say that.
But no, the thing I will say this.
I just tore down my whole defense of him. Like I just did a whole thing about like no, they don't ever like.
But I think the things that he's been doing as far as PR goes, the things that he's been doing to follow up have been okay. He's been reaching.
You laughing thinking about that video?
Thinking about that video.
That video, he was
like this nigga lying. He was like,
they bogus. That's fucked up. That's bogus.
I honestly can't see another way how he could have looked. Like I'm just.
That's what I'm saying. What they want him to cry? Like they want him to.
Right. He didn't know them people. Like it's just like it's tough. Like he just like damn. Like
so no that video trash, but. They said that he's been reaching out to the families and he's been trying to, pay for funeral costs.
I hope so. That's nice.
He's also been working with a program or a site called like Better Help or something like that to help with people who experience like mental health problems following the concert.
concert.
Yeah, so like I think that's a step in the right direction. It's not it's not gonna like help those families that lost people, but it's still next step in the right direction.
Is always like the most important.
Yeah, and
what are we doing after the fact?
Right.
Shit, because it's such a horrible incident. So like, I think that was proactive thinking. So hopefully, things get better after that.
I just want to say this is one of the dope things about doing a podcast with Channa. I like how she come through with like the auxiliary effects, like, well, they're doing something with this organization.
Actually,
yeah, like I love.
Don't have my boy fucked up.
She be reading. What's going on?
I be reading. You feel
That's my
me?
favorite. That's my favorite part about doing this with her. Like
I be looking at shit.
Yeah. She be providing. She be coming from that PR
and that's
background.
helpful because people don't know that. Like we generally, a lot of people, like including myself, I wouldn't have known that.
No,
like because after that happened, I'm just like, damn.
Yeah, I tapped out.
It was so
yeah,
bad.
it was like I already didn't really follow him to be honest, but it'd be helpful for other people like you to read up.
I had to look it up because I'm like,
The
damn, this
flame.
nigga going through some shit.
Like this is crazy.
What's another than that nigga ad-lib was? I just know only La Flame is coming to my head right now. I feel like he got
Straight up.
hey, I fuck with La Flame music, G.
I love his music. I was listening to the 2 songs.
But
he
it's
just
also,
put
but
out.
it's also, but he also has music where it's like you are not getting the depth of who this nigga is. So it's just like none of this helps with like any of this. It's just like nothing is personable about his music. No. Like all his music say to me is like, you like to get fucking hammered too. Like I feel it. Channa, I'm glad you had bought this up the other day. We wanted to, before we close that, we wanted to send a RIP to, you say his name for us?
So his nickname is TJ, but his name is Antoine Fowler. He's the, where we about to eat at, little boy?
Babe, do we not say this to each other
all the time.
every week?
We about to eat
all the time. Where we finna eat at?
Before I get to your crib, I'm like, where we about
finna
to
eat at?
Like, what we about to eat at? Like,
That's me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was incredibly adorable.
Like I follow him. I follow his page that his mom created. I followed the page on Instagram. Like I always been following it. And so like when people say he passed away, I was like, this can't be true. Like this cannot. Like I follow the page. Y'all niggas is lying. I fucking hate y'all. Why would y'all? And then she put out a statement. And I was just like, fuck.
I'm sad that I didn't know he had an IG page. That would have been fun.
Right. I'm just like, I didn't know any of that.
No, like ever since the Where We About to Eat That video, like I was like, yeah, this little kid is special. He's funny. He's adorable. Like,
and he was getting fits off. Like when he passed, they started like posting like this, like these little fits and photo shoots. I said, oh man, my man getting fits off.
He has such like a personality. Like I was just like, that's what intrigued me to follow him because he has such a bright personality. It wasn't just the Where We About to Eat That video. Like it was,
but that's because live forever. The way he like slumps down in the seat, like it's just like,
like this is me. Like, I am him.
But it's unfortunate. His mom, as far as I know, like still hasn't said like how he's passed. But I know that he had like some type of autoimmune disease.
Right.
I don't know what exactly, but yeah, it's fucked up. Rest in peace. He was only 6 years old.
Yeah.
Way too.
Let's do a cheers to all the
way
fallen
too young
people we talked about.
He definitely made a mark.
We talked about quite a few people.
Look, she trying to be lazy. Bring that purple over there.
Yeah, but just before we close that, just to give I'm talking over here. Like they ain't gonna hear nothing. Just to give like a shout out and salute to these people we've lost. It's just, man, like I don't feel desensitized to these deaths. I still get like really sad. You talked about like your older brother like being a Young Dolph fan. Like that's the person I like texted directly. Like I'm like, damn dog, like I'm sorry, bro. Like that was this guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I just want to get that cheers and salute to those to all those young men. They were all young men. 41 is not old.
Not at all.
And I want to me and Sammie were talking about before we got here just about like at least it wasn't a surprise to his family members because like apparently he had been battling like privately. Virgil.
Yeah.
Like Chadwick as well. Like his family was aware, and that's the most important part. Like we as a public, even though we
that was a blind side. At least with like Chadwick, like we had been saying before, like
kind of a blind side.
We didn't see pictures of Virgil.
Right. Yeah, we didn't at all. But with Chadwick, we saw that all Stars weekend.
Exactly.
And people was being mean and ignorant, but
that you could have. I'm telling you, I got on Twitter and I seen like shout out to Larry Legend. He was like somebody from Rockford that's black that they go to this space and do this. Like we might not see that again, and I'm just like, are you talking about Virgil? Like I'm like, why are we talking about like maybe he just showing him his props and giving him his flowers and that's another thing like this is overdone. Nori act like he branded the shout out to Nori, but like we can't stop giving not only celebrities props, the people in our lives props.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. You a professional out here. you actually doing what the fuck you want to do, and you getting some paper. And just some months ago, you was in retail. Like I'm proud of y'all. We gotta not be ashamed to like do that for like our friends and any celebrities. I don't fucking know half these niggas I fuck with, but I like shout out to them, man. Like we gotta even get these motherfuckers their flowers, man. Yeah. I get scared all the time that like Spitter is gonna get killed in New Orleans because he lives in New Orleans. Like all the time. Like I just like I be feeling like it's a conclusion. Like it's like a you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like shout out to all these dudes that's like doing it like that dope shit was like Nipsey, man. Motherfucker in their hood, in their communities.
Aaliyah, just like Nipsey.
Yeah, they in their communities and they like doing right. Like they trying to get back for their communities, man. It don't matter that like they talk all this talk. Cause I ain't gonna lie, that was the first thing that came to my mind when he got killed. I'm like, man, like this like the first time motherfuckers done tried to kill him.
Yeah.
And he does have content that, you know, like warrants violence, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like it don't matter, dog. Like motherfuckers gotta get over themselves. Motherfuckers gotta get it over themselves, get over all this hostility and this jealousy and all of this shit, man. And like,
but you know, people be haters.
And it's so sad. Like literally, I wasn't a Young Dolph fan, like you know, like that. Like of course, there was songs that I like, but my number one thing is like, what really makes you hate someone to the point where you want to take their life, or like what about it?
Nothing.
Like it's just
nothing warrants for that.
It's pride. It's the motherfuckers around you. It's the whole concept of like he a op. He done said this shit about my guy. So like I need to prove myself to be like worthy of that shit. And meanwhile, if you get found out, it's
definitely got to be money.
Listen, if you get found out to be that nigga that did that, then
you gonna get credit. You
like no. You gonna get the worst kind of clout.
Yeah.
That nigga that killed Nipsey, motherfuckers talk so bad about that nigga, Joe.
And he in hiding. He show up for his court appearances.
Yeah.
So
like you think that like you doing this shit for your pride, for your manhood and your gang and your peoples, and motherfuckers end up hating your ass.
Yep.
So that's why cooler heads need to prevail. Memphis a wild ass place though. Memphis like one of them places. Like we be talking about Chicago and the PTSD and others. Memphis is like, and then it never helped that like the niggas that rap from Memphis, like particularly like Three Six Mafia, they always made that shit feel hella sinister to me. Like, like when I went down there, I was like riding past their projects and shit. I'm like, damn, like it just made me come back to the music and shit. Like it's just like it just seems like sinister as hell. Like motherfuckers.
I had a question. Wait, like how much time we got?
Like 10 to 15.
Okay, so the way that you just said, like riding past their projects, how do you feel about people coming to Chicago and like going to whole block?
So
like that
we gonna need like another because that shit is just really that shit is ridiculous. Like people be thinking that shit is funny or like this is a joke. You will die. Like stop playing. Like
I think it's very disrespectful. I think it's. And they were talking about on the radio, and one of the radio hosts was like, you know, like I visit other cities and I go to their projects, and I'm like, personally, when I go out of town, that's just not a goal of mine. It's like, not a goal of mine to go to the projects and be like,
okay, well, let me interject.
Like,
Wait, I went to New York.
I feel it, but
Gemini, you from the Cabrinis, right?
Okay, so I'm gonna interject. So, like, I got my parents from the Wells and shit. Well, not my dad, but my family from the Wells, and so I see where you're coming from. As a normal citizen, I don't have any business like being in the PJs and out of town. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like I don't have anything. I don't have anything to gain from that, right? But at the same time, I feel like a lot of thorough niggas like from other like cities that like are street niggas and they thorough. Like I respect that they go do that because like they don't. A lot of them don't do it recklessly. Like we talking like what we're touching on right now is like motherfuckers want to get out the car and like I'm on O-Block like
literally
there goes Vaughn's mural or whatever. But like we talked about it on this
Yeah.
pod. We talked about it on this pod before with Logan and shit like about like how DMX was like in the hoods and shit like that when he'd come or like a killer cam like you know what I'm saying like some niggas. They know what's coming with it. I like how some motherfuckers say this shit is stupid. Like the nigga Nori was like, he said I was an idiot. Like I was coming to Chicago and I was touching down like in Cabrini like immediately like I don't know why I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? But like I think that like it's different cases for different people, right? Like I just think you should move smartly. But I just don't. I agree. Like I don't like that shit when like you doing this whole like, hey, like I'm here, like it's a tourist attraction and shit. It's just very disrespectful because you know you're only doing it because you know people have died here. You know, you're not doing it under any like trying to like trying to do anything for that community.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Tim Anderson, he starred the White Sox right now, black dude from Alabama. And he touched down at O-Block, and yes, I was kind of clutching my pearls. So I was just like, somebody get Tim out of there. You know what I'm saying? But it's no, he probably has some security nearby. But it's just like, but if you're there to like, if you there to like try to inspire and you tapping in and you're not doing it for like photo op, you actually
Then that's
like,
different.
you actually have a plan for what you're doing. That's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like to just go there like willy nilly and like, and you just want to just like, hey y'all, like you know what I'm saying, like that type of shit, G. Like it's
That's
just
stupid.
like that's stupid. Like I only went to the Wells because my auntie and my barber stayed there. I wasn't going there like to like to, you know, like to hit the 40s and like y'all like take a picture. Like no, like I'm here for a purpose because I have loved ones here, but I'm not gonna do this to like you know like impress nobody.
Do it for clout.
Yeah, motherfuckers want to do that to
Like,
impress
that's
people.
disrespectful.
And I wish
Yeah.
no, let me not say that. I just was not a fan of 6ix9ine, his
First of
shenanigans.
all, he was in my hood, so I'm pissed off.
But I'm not gonna wish
personally.
anything on anyone.
That was just
No, he
was
got
being
what's coming to him.
disrespectful. He was doing too much.
He was at my neighborhood Harold's, like,
Not the hair.
With 10 Trey,
bro, bro, like what the
103rd.
fuck y'all let this?
I love that Harold's, by the way.
They let this nigga over, like no way. Let me would have been over there. Let me would have. Nah, I'm playing. Nothing
No,
would have happened
when they
if I would have been there. I just been like, what the fuck?
When they
This
get
nigga's here.
disrespectful, it's just like, come on, like you doing too much. Like you just doing too much.
But he did it because he know he could.
And that's the
He
thing.
did it because he got cops.
That
Like niggas they just be doing too much because
Straight
they
bitch
figure they
assness.
can get away with it. So
bitch assness.
what Hov say streets is done. And on that note, no, well, just quick shout out. Like I just want to shout out everybody. Like I noticed like doing things in like different communities and like is active. You know what I'm saying? Like I fuck with that heavy. Like I appreciate that. Like actual people that's from these communities and they move in these communities and they still like try to like give back to these communities. Not just like the celebrities like the hip hop artists and stuff like people I know that do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like. And really just move and like do a better thing, and they come from the same thing that like the motherfucker that might have shot up like the bank or some shit. Like they come from the same place, but they doing like I just want to shout them people out. I'm not gonna name no names, but I really operating in like working in community recreation. You just come across a lot of these people, and I just want to shout them out. Like they want to shout them out. Shout out to Inglewood Barbie. Shout out to like there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
That's not coming to my mind right now. But yeah. Shauna, you want to wrap us on up like a Saram in a sedan?
Yo. No, thank you for tuning in to the She's So Weird podcast. Where can they find you, Darian?
You can find me, Sir D Boyd, on Twitter. You can find me at Shots by Sir D Boyd on Instagram. Holla at your boy. I just did a photo shoot this morning. I'm feeling live and crisp. Gemini, holla at me after the show. Yeah. Should follow me there.
Sammie?
I'm on Twitter at Eclectic Straws. Like, I really got to remember, but Twitter, Eclectic Straws, and then my Instagram is Sammie Straws.
Oh, before we fucking get out of here, I'm not saying this because this is my woman. She has these wreaths that she's making for the holidays, right? And I'm gonna link this. When we post. She's making she made some dope Thanksgiving ones. You'll probably see it.
I can't wait to see.
Probably see it on some posts that I'll post soon. She's making wreaths. How much are you selling them for, babe?
Regular orders are $30. Custom orders include like diva wreaths. Those are like $40 and up.
Y'all gonna think she bought this shit from a store,
My
and
brother
she's
came up.
selling
He was
them.
like, "You made these?" And he look at my mom like, "Did she make these?" I'm like, "Yes."
Y'all are gonna think that she bought these and she's just trying to
Creativity.
that she's just trying to tax y'all, and she bought them these things from like somewhere else. These are like such dope wreaths. She created them herself. Like my honest boss, like motherfuckers like, oh, where could we get these? You know what I'm saying? Like they're really dope. So yeah, so I'm like, I'll link it, when we post and stuff like that. But yeah, but hit her up on her IG, even on Twitter too. Like she mentioned it. Say it again. So Smiley Sammie
on Instagram
underscore, right?
Underscore on Instagram. Smiley Sammie underscore on Instagram.
That's SAMMIE.
Yes.
Underscore.
And then on Twitter, I'm at Eclectic Straws.
Yeah, you can hit her up if you're in the Chicago area. She got them wreaths.
I'll deliver too.
Yeah, she on the pull up.
I really will.
Shauna, where can you
Talk about
find where can they find your lovely self? Shout out to your ponytails. They're nice.
Yeah, my 10-year-old self. You can follow me at Shauna Weir XO. CHANNA. Okay? Shauna with a C. You can follow She's So Weird at She's So Weird XO. That's on everything, period. And yeah. That's it for the She's So Weird podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you, Sammie. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for getting over them fears.
I'm here. I made it.
Peace and love.